Okay, ladies, I want to share a little tidbit that I think could be super helpful in your marriage. This is not like the biggest rocket science moment ever, but it could actually help. Here's what happens. Our husband does something that kind of irritates us. You know, it's that little thing that just frustrates the dickens out of you, drives you absolutely nuts, and it's usually nothing sinful, that's a whole nother subject, but it's just that thing that just drives you nuts. Like, why does he do that thing? And you feel compelled, because it does drive you nuts and he's not doing it right your way, you feel compelled to verbalize your disgust, your disappointment, your frustration, your irritation, your criticism. You feel compelled to point out that he's doing it the wrong way and why does he do that thing. And here's what makes matters worse. You feel compelled to do this over and over and over again. Some would call that nagging. It's not very attractive. In fact, Proverbs 21:19 puts it this way: better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife. Ouch. You know, this was brought to mind the other day when I was at a women's group and we were talking about conflict resolution. And in our little group, we started talking about these little things that really annoy us about our husbands, these things that just get under our skin and drive us nuts. And one woman started sharing about how her husband folds up the completely sopping wet dish towel instead of hanging it up, which would be the right way to do it. Duh, drives her nuts. Another woman talked about how her husband comes in at the end of the day and leaves his socks just balled up, in a mess at the front door. Drives her nuts. Like, why don't you put them in the hamper? Well, as we started sharing and kind of going around the room sharing these little things, these quirks of our husbands that drive us nuts, we started to laugh hysterically because they're all so silly. Like, who really cares? It's not like the biggest deal ever. And it brought this point home to me that maybe we'd be far better off, our husbands would be happier, we'd be happier if we chose to chuckle about these little annoyances and frustrations and irritations instead of feeling compelled to say over and over again how that thing just drives us nuts, or to just get super angry and resentful toward our husbands. What if we chose to chuckle about it? Maybe even find it sweetly endearing, these little crazy things that he does. I bet you it would make everyone happier in your marriage, both you and your husband.